Opisina ni Kong Paulo Duterte nung gabi, noong November 23, 2024, bumalik tayo ngayon para dinggin ang krimen at impeachable offense na naganap malapit lamang sa bulwagan na ito. Ang seryosong pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo, unang ginang dating speaker ng kanyang pangalawang Pangulo. Hindi bale sana kung walang gulugod sa likod ng banta. Pero katulad po ng aking sinabi, may kakayahan si VP Sara at ang pamilya Duterte na isa katuparan ng kanilang mga bantang pagpatay sa Pangulo. Sa katunayan, ilang beses na nilang hinahilin tulad ng Pangulo sa libo-libong drug addict na pinapatay ng kanilang tatay.
Of the document on the big screen. Can we enlarge it a bit? Ito pong number 74 sinasabi na ito daw po yung elements na inciting to sedition. So, batay po dyan sa sinasabi ninyo at sa napanood po nating video earlier, yung po bang ginawa ni VP Sara ay inciting to sedition?
Based on the investigation conducted by the NBI and on the certification issued by the Department of Justice in relation to the Department Circular 20, the NBI submitted or the complaint referred by the NBI, which includes inciting to sedition, contains all the necessary evidence to prove the essential elements of the crime and should be docketed for preliminary investigation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nabanggit din po ninyo sa inyong affidavit yung grave threats para po sa ating mga kababayan nakikinig. In layman's terms po, ano po ang ibig sabihin? Ano ang mga elemento ng grave threats? Again, if you can cite the page number so that we can flash it on screen, Madam Chair.
Based on Article 282 of the revised
Madam Chair, what page is this again?
page 15 and 16 of the affidavit of investigation, Your Honor.
Please flash the concerned portion of page 15 and page 16. Secretariat? If I may interrupt, because we are dealing with documents already, and the same has not yet been formally identified by the NBI. Would you like to raise questions first that will lead towards the identification
Yes,
of the document?
Madam Chair, may we request the NBI to please identify the documents that they were referring to so that it could be entered into our records today.
Madam Chair, the identification of the affidavit, may I direct that to Attorney Jeremy Lotok, he's the chief of CCD and the one who executed the affidavit.
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
With the indulgence of the Honorable Sendanya, the questions of Honorable Zamora is with respect likewise to the identification of the document. So is it okay?
Yes, Madam Chair, I will yield the time to Representative
And
Zamora.
then we will be calling you again.
Thank you very much.
The Honorable Bel Zamora is recognized.
May I ask the committee secretary to flash the affidavit signed by the NBI officials? Okay, we have on the screen an affidavit of investigation consisting of, if I'm not mistaken, 29 pages. Agent John Mark Calilong, ito ba po yung affidavit na in-issue po ninyo at ng mga kasama po ninyo para po sa kalinawan ng lahat?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ito po ay isang affidavit of investigation. Comsec, can we go to the last page? Page 28. and 29. I would just like the NBI officials to identify this document. Page 28, ComSec.
Madam Chair, may I request that the video which forms part of the affidavit be included as part of the records of this committee as well?
There is a motion to include the video just presented about the threat to form part of the official records of this proceeding. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted.
Okay. Going forward, sa inyo pong affidavit of investigation, page 28 po nito, meron pong sa bandang taas po, sa bandang gitna, meron pong 4 na signatures. S.A. Jeremy C. Lotok, S.R.A. Ria Vanessa Diaz Asuncion, S.R.A. Van Homer M. Angluben, Agent John Mark Calilong. Kayo ba po ang mga nakapirma dito?
Yes, Your Honor. 4 po kami nakapirma dito.
4 po kayo
May we
nakapirma
request
dyan.
the other those who signed to please answer the question of the Honorable Zamora?
Yes, Your Honor. Nakapirma
State
ho
your
ako
name.
dito. Jeremy C. Lotok, ma'am. Ako po yung nakapirma rito,
Next.
Madam Chair.
Senior Agent Van Homer Angluben, Your Honor. I'm one of the signatories of the
You
complaint.
confirm your signature.
Yes,
Next.
Madam Chair.
Senior Agent Ria Vanessa Asuncion, I confirm my signature, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po. So itong 4 na po na pumirma dito ay kayo. Meron pong isang pirma dito, Glenn A. Ricarte, Assistant Director for Investigation Service, National Bureau of Investigation. Sino po ito at bakit po siya nakapirma sa ilalim?
He was the then Assistant Director for Investigation Service, ma'am, and he was the one who sworn to before sa amin lahat.
He administered the oath po nung kayo ay gumawa ng inyong recommendation dito po sa affidavit of investigation.
Yes, ma'am. Siya po yung nag-administer sa amin.
Okay, maraming salamat po. If I may proceed, Madam Chair, with a few questions.
Honorable Sendanya, this is with regards to the documents that they submitted. So the intention of Kong Bell is to have all the documents identified first before we raise questions on these documents. With your indulgence,
I concur, Madam Chair.
the Honorable Zamora may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Sandanya. Agent Calilong, base po sa inyong affidavit of authentication of digital evidence na Annex A naman din po nitong affidavit of investigation, na-authenticate po ninyo yung video ng press conference ni VP Duterte noong November 23, 2024. Tama ba po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito pong video ng press conference, yung kanina pong pinlay po natin, di ba po yun? Tama ba po yun?
Yes po, part po yun. Meron pong inauthenticate ako na whole video, Your Honor.
Whole video po ang authenticate, ang inyong inauthenticate. Okay po. Ano po ang ibig sabihin ninyo ng pag-authenticate o ang authentication ng video?
Authenticate po is pag-ensure na ang yung video na yon is the same and actual nung nag-transpire. I-ensure po namin na hindi po siya edited or spliced or AI generated, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Maaari mo bang ipaliwanag sa amin ang proseso ng pag-authenticate in layman's terms kung pwede po, as much as you can?
Yes, Your Honor. Una po, communicate with Facebook Meta para po ma-preserve po yung URL na nagko-contain po nung video nung press conference nung November 23, 2024. Then, nagkaroon po kami ng confirmation email from Meta na ginawa nila yung necessary step para po ma-preserve. Next, we conducted screen recording of the video to ensure that what transpired is also being recorded.
Spin recording.
Yes po, including the URL po, tsaka kung sino po yung nag-stream ng video.
Okay po.
Then after po makapag-generate
Sorry
kami...
po, binanggit niyo po kung sino po yung nag-stream ng video. Sino po yung nag-stream ng video na ito?
For the authenticated video, ang nag-stream po is si Harry Roque po. Your Honor.
Okay po.
Na account po.
Go ahead po. Sige po, tuloy po.
Then after pong ma-record, nag-conduct po kami ng hash value calculation. Ang hash value calculation po, yung tinatawag na in layman's term, pag-fingerprint nung digital data, digital file, para po ma-ensure na yung video na yon, if magkaroon ng editing, magbabago po yung hash value.
So meaning nyo po,
Uh,
kita po natin na altered or edited po ang video, it will have a different hash value.
Yes, Your Honor. Magge-generate po ng different hash value if na-edit po yung video.
Okay, go ahead po.
Then after po nun, isinave po namin siya sa storage device and submitted as evidence, Your Honor.
So you confirm po that that you submitted a copy of the video that you authenticated to the Committee on Justice, and what we played earlier is the authenticated video.
Yes, Your Honor. It's part of the authenticated video.
Okay, tapos dahil dito po sa inyong proseso ng pag-authenticate, sigurado po tayo na hindi edited, altered, or AI yung video po na hawak po ninyo at pinasa niyo po sa amin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
We now recognize again the Honorable Percy Sendanya.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. For recap lang po, mabilis. So kanina po, pinlay natin yung video, tapos tinanong po natin sa NBI kung yung batay ba sa video na yon ay citing to sedition yung ginawa ni VP Sara, at ang sagot po nila is on the affirmative. Nakasite din po kasi yung usapin ng grave threats dun po sa kanilang affidavit. So tanong lang po sa NBI, batay po sa inyong affidavit investigation, yun po bang ginawa ni VP Sara, grave threats po ba yon?
Base po sa ebidensya na nakalap ng NBI at naisubmit po sa Department of Justice for the purpose of preliminary investigation, ang naging findings po ng NBI, the acts of the Vice President constitutes grave threats.
So inulit ko lang po. So sinasabi po ng NBI, yung ginawa na yun ni VP Sara sa napanood nating video ay inciting to sedition at grave threats. May nabanggit din po kayo sa page 28, reasonable certainty of conviction for VP Sara for inciting to sedition and grave threats. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng reasonable certainty of conviction para po sa ating mga tagapanood?
Noong March 31, 2023, ang Department of Justice po ay nag-issue ng Department Circular number 20 na kung saan po ang standard or quantum of proof ng in carrying out the roles of the investigators and as well as the prosecutors, ini-ensure po dapat ng mga investigators as well as the prosecutors that there must be a prima facie case. I am citing Section 2 of Department Circular 20, and that there must be a reasonable certainty of conviction based on available documents, witnesses, real evidence, and the like.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a very brief manifestation before I yield the time to the next member of the committee. Mahalagang paalala po, huwag nating ugaliing pagbantaan ang buhay ng kahit sino man. Krimen po yun. And we were expecting that the Vice President knows this. The threat alone is a separate crime from homicide or murder. Sabi nga ng NBI, there is reasonable certainty of conviction against VP Sara on 1 count of inciting to sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. Kung hindi tama ang ugaling ito para sa second highest official of the land, mas lalong hindi po ito karapat-dapat para sa isang tao na nag-aambisyon na maging highest official of the land. Inuulit po natin, grave threat, inciting to sedition, sinasabi ng NBI, ginawa po yan ni VP Sara. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Sendanya. The Honorable Joel Chua.
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the documents and videos submitted by the NBI last April 14, 2026 and today, April 29, 2026, and be made part of the records of this proceeding.
There is a motion to adopt all the documents, digital and documentary, submitted by the NBI to this committee during the hearing of April 14, 2026, including those which are being submitted today April 29, 2026, to form part of the official records of the proceeding of this committee. Do I hear a second?
Second.
The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The committee secretary is directed to submit the additional documents being submitted by the NBI.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
There is a list, Honorable Abante, unless that is a point of order.
Kung wala na pong question sa NBI, I'd like to make a manifestation, Madam Chair, on destabilization.
We have a long list for clarificatory questions for NBI. So I will call you later, Honorable Abante. Now we recognize the Honorable Chel Jokno.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, may I just seek clarification from the affiants of the affidavit of investigation. There are 4 of you from the NBI who signed this affidavit. S.A. Jeremy C. Lotok, SRA Ria Vanessa Diaz Asuncion, SRA Van Homer M. Angluben, and Agent John Mark Kalilong. I would just like to know who among you are the most senior in rank of the 4 affiants.
You're next.
I am the most senior, sir.
You are,
Among
sir.
the 4, sir. I am the most senior, sir, among the 4.
Kindly identify yourself. Di ko makita yung nameplate ninyo. S.A. Jeremy Lotok. Yes, I just like to seek your confirmation. In paragraph 4 of your affidavit of investigation, you said, and I quote, in the same press conference, VP Duterte likewise responded to an online commenter expressing concern on her security by stating, quote, "Yes, wag kang mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta at si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbili na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag kang tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila." And then he said yes. So you confirm that this is in your affidavit of investigation?
Yes, sir, I do confirm that it's part of our affidavit of investigation.
And I would just like to know your understanding dun sa bandang, yung una kong nabanggit na quotation, yes, huwag kang mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi may nakausap na ako na tao. In relation to the last part of the last sentence where the VP Sara said, and then he said yes. May I know what's your understanding? Is that one and the same person?
Well, actually, ongoing yung investigation namin, sir. Although we cannot divulge it right now para hindi ho ma-preempt yung aming ginagawang investigasyon. But definitely, we believe na meron ho siyang kinausap at meron hong assassin na naka-assign base doon sa conversation.
Just to confirm that I heard right, na meron siyang you confirm. Could you kindly repeat your statement?
Yes, sir. Based ho sa aming affidavit, VP Sara is referring to one and the same person, sir.
At kasama po sa inyong investigasyon yung pagtukoy doon sa kung sino man yung taong yon.
Which is ongoing po, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No more questions.
Thank you, Honorable Jokno. Now we recognize the Honorable Vice Chairperson Brian Poe.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. May I respectfully ask a few clarificatory questions to the resource person, NBI Agent John Mark Kalilong. Sir? Agent Kalilong, lahat ng mga tanong ko ay una magagaling po sa affidavit of investigation niyo po. Walang bagong evidence, no probing questions, only clarificatory questions. The point of this is in order to determine probable cause, we must first establish na may totoong security threat. No? Kasi may mga tao na nagsasabi na biro lang yan or conditional siya. But I need to know whether or not the security sector saw this as a tangible security threat. With that being said, Agent Kalilong, base sa Part 3, Paragraph 16 ng Affidavit of Investigation nyo, Annex I, no? Affidavit of Authentication of Digital Evidence. Nag-statement din si PBBM noong November 24, 2024 na nakakabahala ang mga pahayag ni VP Duterte, lalo na ang threat sa kanyang buhay. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Base naman sa Part 3, Paragraph 22 ng Affidavit of Investigation at Annex O ng Affidavit of Authentication of Digital Evidence, sinabi ng Philippine National Police sa isang statement na in light of Vice President Sara Duterte's recent statement, which directly referenced an assassin contracted to target the president, the PNP recognizes the grave nature of this matter. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Tama din po ba na mula sa parehong statement na sinabi din na the safety of the president is a matter of is a national concern and any direct or indirect threat to his life must be addressed with the highest level of urgency. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Moving forward, base dito naman sa Part 3, no? Paragraph 23 ng Affidavit of Investigation at Annex P ng Affidavit of Authentication of Digital Evidence, sinabi din ng National Security Council sa isang statement, the National Security Council considers all threats to the President of the Philippines as serious. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Tama po ba na gumawa po kayo ng investigation into this matter? Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama din na nagsampa po kayo ng kaso.
Yes, Your Honor.
What case did you file?
3 counts of grave threat and 1 count of inciting to sedition.
And you would not file this if you did not believe that there was a valid threat?
Based on investigation, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Madam Chair, with that being said, I would just like to make a quick manifestation on the matter.
You may proceed, Honorable Po.
Madam Chair, I believe that this assassination plot against the President, the First Lady, and former Speaker of the House not only spread throughout our country, but also made headlines internationally, and for the wrong reasons. No, this put into question our stability and our national security. Could we see some of those headlines? I just want it on the record.
All right. So the headlines provided by the NBI have been submitted. Now it is on our big screen.
Madam Chair, the reason why I bring this up is because this is no ordinary threat. No, this is a threat by the Vice President against the President of the Republic of the Philippines. And people around the world took note of that, questioning our stability and our national security. I remember a case in 2018 of a teacher who had made a similar threat online and was arrested by the PNP. He was not a public official. He was an ordinary Filipino citizen. This committee has to take into consideration that moment, no, in 2018, because we are sending a message with the decision that we make today on probable cause. I would like to thank the resource persons for confirming the statements of the National Security Council, the Philippine National Police, and the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
You mentioned about the video of the teacher. The clip about the teacher.
I mentioned that in 2018 po, there was a teacher who had been arrested for having posted on social media that there
Do you have a news clip also about that teacher?
I do not believe we have a clip. Do we have a clip of it?
Can we flash again the headlines earlier requested by the Honorable Po? I just want to place on record, Honorable Po, if you wish to read, the headlines from the international news platform.
Yes, para na sa record natin. From CBS News, Philippines Vice President publicly threatens to have the nation's president assassinated. CNN World states Philippine Vice President says she would have Marcos assassinated if she is killed. Reuters has Philippines boost security after VP's assassination threat against the president. And the Hindustan Times says the Philippine VP Sara Duterte makes big statement. She says, "If I die," and so
All
on.
right, that is for the record. You have other manifestations?
No, Madam Chair, just the fact that this will set precedents on how we deal with matters of national security, and we must take this seriously.
All right. The Honor Director Melvin Matibag.
Yeah, Madam Chair, just for the record, based on what the Honorable Congressman Brian po mentioned, we confirmed that in 2018 there was a teacher.
Do you have a news clip of that public school teacher?
We don't have it now, but we can have it authenticated.
For the guidance of the members, Honorable Po is trying to establish the two standards that we are observing with respect to the threat committed by the teacher who was immediately arrested.
Yes.
And a case was filed and convicted, correct?
Hindi po ma'am, ganito nga po, kaya po ako gusto magsalita. Kasi po, nung panahon na yun, ang umaresto rin po dito kay Ronel May, ang NBI po. NBI din po, at siya po ay naaresto pagkatapos ng 10 araw na nagbigay siya ng pronouncement na nadudos sa social media na kung sino man ang papatay kay dating Pangulong Duterte nung panahon na yun ay magkakaroon ng pabuya na 50 million. At nagkaroon po ng manhunt, inaresto siya after 10 days na aresto. At to my recollection, lumuhod yung tao na nagmamakaawa, na sinabi na hindi naman seryoso, nagbibiro lang. The point is, why are we saying this? Is because we in the law enforcement, the National Bureau of Investigation, we considered all the threat to the President and to any official of the government a serious threat. Hindi po ito pwedeng biro-biro. And yung mga pinakita nga pong video kanina dyan, yan po ay pinag-aralan at naging parte ng pagdidesisyon ng National Bureau of Investigation para habla ng isang criminal case po kay Vice President Sara Duterte na ngayon ay po ay nakapending sa Department of Justice. So, ang punto nga dyan, kami po ay kumikilos, ang NBI kumikilos, anumang threat, sino man po ang binigyan ng threat. In fact, to my recollection, nung inimbitahan po si Vice President Sara at meron din siyang aligasyon na may threat din sa kanya, we want to pursue it. Pero wala naman po at hindi rin po siya dumalo dun po sa pagpapatawag po ng National Bureau of Investigation.
Madam
All right. Honorable Po.
Madam Chair, just to manifest, it's important to highlight this because it shows due process. There was a threat, it was investigated, and in the end, he was released naman. Our purpose here is to determine probable cause. It's not to make a final decision on anything. The point here is investigation. If it's found out later on that there was no viable threat, then that's part of what we have to do sa trial. We're not there yet. We're on probable cause. Kaya I bring this up because what happened in 2018 is part of due process. This too is part of due process. Just trying to be fair, Madam Chair.
We know the manifestation of the Honorable Po. Any other manifestation from the Director of the NBI?
Gusto ko lang pong dagdagan dong sa sinasabi po ni Honorable Brian po na actually hindi po ito pinawalan ng law enforcement. Nagkaroon po ito ng kaso talaga. It so happened na kaya po hindi nagtuloy-tuloy yung kaso. There was a finding of illegal arrest kasi hindi naman siya yung parang naging continuous. Dapat po nag-direct filing. Ang ginawa nung hinulip, pinapasok po sa inquest po. But as to make a comment dun sa due process po na dapat pare-pares yung standards sa National Bureau of Investigation, we want to make sure na kung ano po yung ginawa ng isang ordinaryong tao at ng mataas na opisyal na parehas po na krimen, ay kailangan po naming habulin at papanagutin po sa ilalim po ng ating batas.
All the comments of the NBI Director are noted by the committee. Let's proceed to our clarificatory questions. We now recognize the Honorable Laila De Lima.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a few clarificatory questions and then a manifestation.
Proceed.
But anyone from the NBI team can respond. Just clarificatory lang po. Based on Annex G attached on your affidavit of investigation, can you confirm that the Bureau, the NBI, issued a subpoena directing VP Sara to appear in the NBI office of the Director on November 29, 2024 to shed light on the investigation of the alleged grave threats? Nagpadala
Yes, ma'am,
ba
we
kayo
do.
ng subpoena?
Yes, ma'am. We do confirm, ma'am.
Nagpakita po ba si VP Sara sa NBI noong November 29, 2024 para makipagtulungan sa investigasyon?
Hindi po nag-appear, ma'am, ang Vice Presidente sa schedule na yon ng subpoena namin.
Alam niyo ho bang dahilan? Meron ho ba siyang pinadalang dahilan kung bakit hindi siya sumipot?
Meron po siyang letter, ma'am, through her counsel. If I may, ma'am, kung pwede ko pong basahin
Yes,
ito.
please.
VP Duterte informed the NBI that she will not be able to attend on the scheduled date as she will be attending office matters requiring her urgent attention as a consequence of the ongoing House Representatives Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability's inquiry into the Office of the Vice President and Department of Education's fund utilization. On that same letter, VP Duterte requested for a copy of the complaint.
Okay, so ang sabi po, she's attending to urgent office matter. Yun po ang kanyang dahilan. Sa hindi niya pagsipot noong November 29, 2024.
Yes, ma'am, base po sa letter na yon.
Based naman po on Annex J of your affidavit of investigation, can you confirm na nag-issue po uli kayo ng subpoena kay VP Sara commanding her to appear on November 11, 2024 before the office of the Director of NBI?
Yes,
Again,
ma'am, we
in
issued
light of
a
the
second subpoena to her, ma'am.
Sumipot po ba siya? Pumunta po ba siya?
Hindi po, ma'am, for the second time. Hindi po nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente.
Ano naman po ang naging dahilan this time? Second time around, November 11, 2024.
If I may, ma'am, kasi meron hong letter na pinadala through her counsel. Again, the NBI was informed that VP Duterte will not appear on the scheduled date and denied having made any threat. Quote, with respect, we must state the obvious that the Honorable Secretary of Justice is the Office Administrative Superior, Head of Agency, and the President's alter ego, while the Honorable Executive Secretary is the President's chief alter ego. Given these facts, you will kindly understand our client's prudence in her cooperation with our office and her desistance from appearing and giving any statement on 11 December 2024. That said, our client vehemently denies having made any threat constituting grave threats under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of RA 10175, terrorism and any other punishable acts under Republic Act 11479 or any other crime. Since your office acknowledges that it has access to publicly available material on the internet, we are confident that the content and context of the entire press conferences, subject matter of your investigation will bear this out. Close quote.
Okay, so sinabi niyo na dini-deny
Yes, ma'am.
ni VP Sara ang kanyang mga pagbabanta laban sa Pangulo, sa First Lady at sa former Speaker of the House. Kahit ito mismong threats na ito ay nagaling na mismo sa kanyang bibig at kitang-kita natin doon sa
Kong Laila, closer to the microphone, please.
kahit po yung threat mismo ay nanggaling sa kanyang mismong bibig at kitang-kita po natin sa video.
Based on her letter, ma'am, yes. Okay.
Yes. And yung video is na-authenticate ng NBI.
Yes, ma'am.
Hindi yun gawa-gawa lang o hindi yun AI.
Yes, ma'am. We hashed the data, the subject data, meaning the virtual press conference which was live streamed through social media platform. When we say hashing, we apply a mathematical function to that data to convert it into a fixed length value called hash value. Yun po yung ini-explain kanina ng aming technical.
So authenticated.
Yes, ma'am, authenticated po siya.
Based din po sa inyong affidavit of investigation, can you confirm na nag-issue din po ang NBI ng subpoena to some representatives of the media, some personalities of the media who attended yung OVP press conference na yan noong November 23, 2024, yung online press con?
Yes, ma'am.
Huwag na lang ho natin banggitin ang mga pangalan ng mga media personalities na mga inimbitan nyo, sinabpina nyo. Pero ang pinapakonfirm ko lang po, meron po kayong ilan-ilan na mga miyembro ng media na sinabpina rin to shed light on this also because they were present in that virtual or online press conference.
Yes, ma'am. We issued subpoena to at least 6 media personnel, ma'am.
From various media outfits.
From various media
Iba-ibang outfits. Iko-confirm nyo rin po kasi nabasa ko po yung ibang mga affidavit nila. Kino-confirm nyo rin po na may mga reaction sa kanila. Doon sa ilan-ilan sa kanila tungkol doon sa ang isa nagsabi, I was surprised, shocked. Nung narinig na yung pagbabanta na yon ni VP Sara, I was surprised, shocked, but I kept myself composed. Yung isa naman, ayun, yung parang nagulat siya. Nagulat daw siya na ganon ang naging pahayag nung pagbanta ni VP Sara. Meron din isa, sinabi he was shocked when he heard VP Duterte uttered the threatening remarks. So ilan-ilan po sa mga media personalities na ito na inimbitahan nyo o sinabpinan nyo, ganun ho yung mga naging reaction nila nung narinig nila mismo yung banta na yon galing sa bibig ni VP Sara.
Yes, ma'am. We confirm that.
We confirm. So there are affidavits here as part of the annexes of the NBI investigation report.
It's not affidavits, ma'am. It's minutes of interview, ma'am.
Minutes of interview. Ganon yung mga sinabi nilang naging reaction nila.
Opo, ma'am.
Okay. As by way of manifestation now, Madam Chair, para sa akin po, itong ground na ito, threats, inciting to sedition, ito po ay isa sa pinakamalakas, kung hindi pinakamalakas na ground. Para sa akin po, as the endorser of the Sabali et al. Complaint sa kapagbabasa ko ng records. Yes, lahat po ng grounds for impeachment raised against the VP are serious. But more than the other grounds, ito pong ground na ito, the threats, is one of the most important in the sense that it gives us an insight into the true character and moral fiber of the VP. Sa pagkakataong yun, maaga pa lang ay nakita na ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino ang tunay na karakter at pagkatao ni VP Sara. Never before in the entire history of the world has a sitting vice president threatened to kill the president and his wife on live streaming video for the whole Filipino nation and even the world to watch. It finally revealed Sara Duterte at her most transparent and unfiltered moment. And para sa akin po, this is not an aberrant attitude of a Duterte. In fact, it is their trademark character. Just recently, yung kapatid nga niya po, si Mayor Baste, said that all he wants is the head of the president, nothing more. And then the Duterte family will be satisfied. This to me, ang pagbasa ko po dito, hindi naman po ako psychologist o psychiatrist, pero sa aking obserbasyon, this is a clear pattern running along all of the Duterte children. They're all cut from the same cloth and woven from the same fabric as their father, who is now facing 3 charges of crimes against humanity before the ICC for the murder of thousands of Filipino civilians, all citizens he was sworn to protect. So may history of violence, may proclivity, may tendency to violence ang pamilya pong yan. Mayor Baste also showed us that the Duterte family is capable of bringing back the bloodshed instigated by their father, as he attempted to do so immediately at the start of his first term as Davao City Mayor in 2022, with the killing of 7 alleged criminals in Davao City. Fortunately, his attempt to bring back the Davao Death Squad was immediately put to a stop by the PNP when the leadership of the whole Davao Police Force was revealed. The Davao City Police was no longer the Davao Death Squad that the children grew up with and got used to running their errands, including the occasional execution of enemies, as attested to by DDS leader Arturo Las Cañas. Mayor Baste's failed revival of the DDS is also just a poor copy of his sister's record in the EJK business. According to Las Cañas, then Mayor Sara together with the then City Police Chief and now Senator at Large Bato de la Rosa were the ones to come up with Oplan Tokhang as an operation modus of the DDS. Marami pong sinabi si Las Cañas sa kakayahan ni VP Sara na maging katulad ng kanyang tatay. Kaya nung sinabi ni VP Sara na kumuha na siya ng hitman para patayin ang first couple, hindi po yun biro. Siya po mismo ang nagsabi, no joke. Hindi biro ang pagbabanta ni VP Sara sa buhay ng Pangulo at unang ginang. Na ginawa niyang bantang ito ay hindi na alegasyon. Napanood po natin ito sa live streaming video. Nung gabing yun, nakita natin ang totoong Sara Duterte. Nanlilisik ang mata, halos bumula ang bibig, at lumabas ang dugo sa tenga dahil tila ba sasabog na ang kanyang ulo sa galit dahil sa pag-detain sa kanyang chief of staff dito mismo sa loob ng batasan. The irony of this is that it all happened here, within the premises of the House of Representatives, in the same government compound where we are sitting now in judgment whether or not to recommend to the House plenary the filing of the articles of impeachment against VP Sara to the Senate for an impeachment trial. And so we have gone full circle, Madam Chair. Sa haba-haba ng prosesyon na nag-umpisa sa opisina ni Kong Paulo Duterte nung gabi, noong November 23, 2024, bumalik tayo ngayon para dinggin ang krimen at impeachable offense na naganap malapit lamang sa bulwagan na ito. Ang seryosong pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo, unang ginang, dating speaker ng kanyang pangalawang Pangulo. Hindi bale sana kung walang gulugod sa likod ng banta. Pero katulad po ng aking sinabi, may kakayahan si VP Sara at ang pamilya Duterte na isa katuparan ng kanilang mga bantang pagpatay sa Pangulo. Sa katunayan, ilang beses na nilang hinahilintulad ang Pangulo sa libo-libong drug addict na pinapatay ng kanilang tatay. Sa tingin ko po, sa akin po, ito ang pinakamalalang ground for impeachment. Dahil pinakita nito ang kawalan ng tamang pag-iisip ni VP Sara. Again, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but that's what I can see from the character and personality of VP Sara. Hindi lamang pagbabanta sa buhay ng Pangulo ang ating nasaksihan noong gabing yun mula sa Room 304 ng South Wing Annex, kung hindi ang lagim na kinakaharap ng ating bayan sa ilalim ng isa na namang Duterte. That is my manifestation, Madam Chair, for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable De Lima. Next to raise clarificatory questions is the Honorable Bernadette Barbers.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Clarificatory question lang po para kay Director Matibag. Good afternoon, Director Matibag.
Good afternoon.
Oo. Kasama din po ba sa video yung tungkol sa pagbibitiw sa tungkulin ni VP Duterte bilang miyembro ng kabinete ni Pangulong Marcos at saka bilang Secretary ng Department of Education at bilang Vice Chair ng NTF-ELCAC or the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict?
Yes, good afternoon. That question, I would like to direct to John Mark Calilong. He was the one who authenticated the videos na dinala namin at sinabit dito.
Secretariat, please play the video.
Okay.
Earlier today, June 19, 2024, I sought an audience with the President and tendered my resignation as the Secretary of Education effective July 19, 2024. I have given my 30-day notice to ensure the proper and orderly transition for the benefit of the next Secretary.
Pangalawang tanong po, yun naman pong video pagkatapos niyan na biglang sinabi niyang hindi na raw siya dadalo sa SONA ni PBBM at ina-appoint niya yung sarili niya bilang designated survivor.
It was considered during our investigation, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you submit that video also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Secretariat, kindly play the video.
Matay ka sa SONA.
No. No, I will not attend the SONA. I am appointing myself as the designated survivor.
Okay. Yan po yung video. Pinatotohanan niyo ho ba na yan yung inyong inimbestigahan?
Yes, kasama po sa conduct of investigation and an ongoing investigation po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Ko.
Ako muna.
But before Honorable Ko,
In reference to the
few
manifestation.
follow-up question lang from the Honorable Chua.
Got it, Madam Chair.
Just a brief manifestation, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, alam po ninyo yung designated survivor, no? Gusto ko lang i-emphasize na hindi po natin po pwedeng baliwalain ito. Kasi sa Amerika po o sa ibang bansa, ito pong tinatawag nating designated survivor ay ito po ay protocol sa US government. Ito po ay inakma dun sa isang makikita po natin yung konsepto nito dun po sa isang TV series sa Amerika, yung designated survivor. So ang ibig sabihin po nito, Madam Chair, dun po sa Amerika, pagka meron pong isang malaking pagtitipon kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga top brass o lahat ng mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno mula presidente, vice-presidente, mga cabinet secretary, senador, mga congressman. Kumbaga, ikukumpara po natin dito sa ating present setup. Ito po yung tinatawag nating SONA. Sa Amerika po, mayroon pong isang opisyal ng gobyerno na sineseparate nila o hindi nila pina-attend doon sa pagtitipon na yon ng kagaya ng SONA. Yun ang tinatawag nilang designated survivor. Ang purpose po nun, in the event na may mangyari, halimbawa po, nagkaroon po ng catastrophic event, nagkaroon ng matinding lindol, nagkaroon ng matinding halimbawa o binomba yung isang lugar kung saan nandoon lahat ang mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno. Meron pong isang matitira, yung designated survivor, siya po ang tatayo o hahaliling presidente ng bansa. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng designated survivor. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po, bakit po ito binabanggit ng ating vice-presidente? Meron po ba siyang alam na masamang mangyayari nung panahon na yon? O may alam ba ang ating vice-presidente na mangyayari kaya ayaw po niyang dumalo sa SONA? So ito po yung mga katanungan na hindi po natin dapat binabaliwala. So yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Madam
Before we proceed, our parliamentary status, we are conducting the clarificatory hearing for the allegations of threat and destabilization acts. And there are justice members who have raised clarificatory questions already. We are on the video. Honorable Barbers just presented the video of resignation of the Vice President and the designated survivor videos. And for the record, these videos were submitted by the NBI during our clarificatory hearings. To proceed,
Madam Chair.
the Honorable Joboy Aquino.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Hindi ba unfair naman po kung ang pop culture reference ay gagawin basihan ng suspicion? Marami namang gumagamit ng references from films and series as metaphor. Metaphor lang, Madam Chair. Ang punto ko lang, yung series ng Designated Survivor ay widely known na fiction. Kung ginamit man ito ng Vice Presidente, it could simply be a figure of speech. We should be careful not to overinterpret statements or put meaning beyond its plain language, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
I observe that Chair Benny Abante is also raising his hand. Do you have any manifestation or clarificatory question with regards to the resignation video and the designated survivor video?
I requested, Madam Chair, that after the clarificatory questions that I would be allowed to make a manifestation.
All right, so I will call you after all the clarificatory questions.
Madam
The
Chair.
Honorable Kong Attorney J.P. Padiernos is recognized.
Madam Chair, thank you so much. Madam Chair, I understand yung point po na ni-raise ni Honorable Joboy Aquino. However, we must also consider the other side of the coin. There is a need to examine the statements of the impeachable officer in their entirety and not in isolation in order to determine context, intent, and possible implication. In particular, the reference to the show Designated Survivor cannot be viewed on its own, divorced from the other statements made before, during, or after it. Nevertheless, it must be emphasized that at this stage of the impeachment proceedings, the issue is not yet final guilt or innocence. The question before us is only whether there is sufficient factual basis and probable cause to hold the impeachable officer answerable for the allegations. Whether the impeachable officer is ultimately guilty of the impeachable offense, whether in relation to the designated survivor reference or the other statements attributed to her, as mentioned a while ago, is a matter that belongs to the Senate to determine at the proper time should the case proceed in trial. That's all, Madam Chair.
The manifestation of the Honorable J.P. Padiernos is noted. Now we recognize the Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez.
Maraming salamat, Madam Chair. Alam niyo po, maaaring fiction po yung series ng Designated Survivor sa US. Kaso lang, hindi po ito biro sa atin. Unang-una, dahil ang nagbigkas po ng mga salitang yan ay yung mismong makikinabang kung merong mangyari sa buhay ng ating presidente. She is the direct beneficiary of anything that will happen to the president. And thereby designating herself as a survivor means that she may be entertaining some thought or there are some, things that may happen to the president. And as we all know, the president, the highest elected official of the land, whose life must remain secure because of the responsibilities and the duties that he holds. So we should not take this lightly, Madam Chair. Yes, it may be a basis of some series, and all the reason why it should be the basis because there is so much significance in that statement that was uttered, Madam Chair. So I would just like to put that on record. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable D.S.J.J. Suarez. Now we proceed with the next to raise clarificatory question. Is this still on the video of resignation and designated survivor? D.S. Konghun? D.S. Konghun is recognized.
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. May I ask clarificatory questions lang po para sa NBI? Base po sa Part 4, Paragraph 53 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi dito na the statements made by the Vice President were brought about or motivated by the unpleasant circumstances that happened prior to November 23, 2024 press conference. She imagined the cutting of the president's head. She further claimed that her name was marred by Speaker Martin Romualdez, First Lady Lisa Marcos Araneta, and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor. It's on the October 18 video that was also authenticated, Your Honor.
Thank you. Base naman po sa Part 4, Paragraph 54 ng Affidavit of Investigation, sinabi po dito na the convolution of these circumstances will demonstrate that the threat is not a product of temporary fit of anger, but it was deliberately thought out by the Vice President. Kinukumpirmahan niyo po ba ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, may I manifest that what we're seeing now is not a single isolated statement. When you put everything together, the resignation as a Deputy Secretary in June 29, 2024, and the self-declaration as the designated survivor in July 11, 2024, the remarks made in October 18, 2024 press conference, the threat to the life of the President, First Lady, and former Speaker of the House in November 23, 2024, and confirming the same on November 26, 2024, it forms a pattern that cannot simply be dismissed as a casual rhetoric. Ito po ay hindi about sa politics alone. This is about whether these statements cross the threshold of a credible threat that requires a state response. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yun lang po.
Thank you. We will go back to the video of resignation and designated survivor. If there are any other members who wish to manifest or raise questions on this video, if we are done, then we recognize the Honorable Rog Gutierrez
Thank you,
for
Madam
his
Chair.
clarificatory questions.
Madam Chair, just on that point po, no, and I do agree that tama rin naman po yung ginagawa ng NBI that in relation to the threat video, they're looking at other videos to provide context. And actually, naalala ko lang po, there was another video, I think, that was a pronouncement by a family member of the Vice President in relation to a sort of political destiny of sorts, yung dun tungkol sa mga Romanov at mga Mussolini. I would just like to clarify, Madam Chair, was that also included for context in the investigation of the NBI?
May we hear from the NBI? The Honorable Gutierrez is asking if the video about Romanov is part of your submissions.
Yes, Your Honor, it's part of the submission.
The same has been authenticated
yes,
as well?
Yes, Your Honor, but it's being considered on an ongoing investigation.
It's part of your ongoing investigation.
Honor.
What's the pleasure of the Honorable Gutierrez?
Madam Chair, that was just a clarification po no, kung na-consider. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Bel Zamora.
short manifestation. I believe that all of us saw this video also wherein the brother of the vice president, referred to the Romanovs.
If I may interrupt, since we are discussing on the video, for the guidance of the members, since it's part of the submission, with the indulgence of the members, may we play that video?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes? So, Secretariat, please be directed to play the video about that Romanov.
Just a simple message sa ato ang Pangulo. From now on, before you go to bed, think of the Romanovs. Think of Benito Mussolini and his wife. And think of what happened to you in 1986. And maybe you'll reconsider the direction that you are taking.